Hi. Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm Lucas and I am back. Not back like before where I posted a video a week, but I am back as in I'm making videos again. The internet situation that I've described before has not improved, but there is a workaround and I might be trying to use it as much as possible in order to post new videos because it's a new year. Happy New Year to everyone who's watching this video. And one last thing before we move to the main topic of the video. The channel has reached 22 subscribers since I last left off, which is incredible. Even though I know most of them are my friends and such, I didn't actually think that I would reach 22. And really, I don't actually care much about the number of subscribers, even though most people ask me about it every day. I actually just want to make videos because I like making videos. It's kind of like this hobby thing. And the basis of this channel was really just to make videos talking about stuff that I'm interested about and that I really just don't want to bring up in a regular conversation and such. And really I was just bored out of my mind. But anyway, today I'm talking about misconceptions. Mostly Swiss misconceptions because I'm Swiss and of course I'm patriotic. I may also move to Chinese misconceptions and all that kind of stuff, but for the moment let's stick with Swiss misconceptions. And with me to help is this lovely little article on a webpage. I will link it down in the description below. Basically, it covers 16 myths about Switzerland. I won't go through all of them, you can check them out by yourselves. I'm just going to go through the ones which I can elaborate and talk about further and relate it to my own life and experience. But if you want to check it out, it's pretty interesting. It's linked in the description below if you want to check it out. Alright, so the first misconception is that it snows every single year in Switzerland between December and March, which is completely false. It actually hasn't snowed yet in Switzerland, as far as I'm concerned, because it's getting way too warm for snow. Really the only places that snows is like up in the mountains where there usually are glaciers, and soon glaciers will no longer exist because of global warming. In fact, in the next 70 years or so, they say there will be no more glaciers in Switzerland, which is kind of sad. And really, even though I was expecting snow in Switzerland, it actually didn't snow for the 2 weeks that I stayed there this winter. So this winter, 2015-2016, usually it snows around December, but this year it's completely green. The ground is just covered in grass and no snow. It's just kind of sad. No White Christmas this year, unfortunately, maybe next year, but to sum it up, it doesn't snow every single year in Switzerland, and we have this year to prove it. The next one is about neutrality, and really about how strong Switzerland is. Most people underestimate how strong the Swiss army is because, well, people think, oh, okay, they never fought in a war, so obviously they're weak, which is not true. In fact, Switzerland is quoted to have one of the strongest armies in the world. In fact, in the ancient times, Swiss people were actually mercenaries fighting in other people's wars, and they were known to be undefeatable opponents on the battlefield, having like long streaks of victory up until firearms and modern weapon was born. They still exist in a way and are known as the Vatican Swiss Guard, and they of course stationed in Vatican City in Rome, in Italy, but the actual army itself is still pretty strong and powerful. And even though Switzerland has a policy of armed neutrality, this doesn't mean Switzerland doesn't have an army. You need someone to protect them. And of course, it's the Swiss people that have to help them. And I believe every single Switzerland between the age of 20 to like 40 has to fight if a war against them breaks out, which is unlikely to happen because most countries respect the neutrality of Switzerland. And next one is actually really annoying because a lot of people I ask get it wrong. The capital city of Switzerland is not Zurich, it's not Geneva, it's Bern, and it's a really obscure city, to be frank, because it's in the middle of Switzerland and no one has ever heard about it because nothing interesting ever happens in Switzerland. but it exists and it is actually the capital of Switzerland. Even though Zurich is the biggest and most famous city in Switzerland and Geneva is a close second, neither of them house the parliament. It's all done in Bern. Another annoying one, which plenty of people get wrong, is they say that one of the official languages of Switzerland is Swiss, which is not even a language. People often ask me, can you speak some Swiss, even though it's not a language? The official language of Switzerland is German, French, Italian, and Romansh, none of which are like, well, I guess Romansh is kind of a personal language in terms of country. I don't speak Romansh, by the way. German is owned to the German, French is owned to the French, Italian is owned to the Italian. But what's interesting is we actually speak a kind of like a strange dialect, and it's often said that Swiss German people can understand native German people, or High German people as we call them, but the High German people can't understand the Swiss German people, because our dialect is so weird and different that it's really hard to talk to one another. And the next thing on this list is chocolate. Now, according to the article, Swiss people love chocolate, and that is kind of true. I can eat an entire kilo of chocolate like in an hour or so. I mean, I know friends who don't actually like chocolate, but there's an entire story behind it, which I'm not gonna say. But what I'm actually more interested to talk about is the brands of chocolate in Switzerland. Now, most people, when they think of Swiss chocolate, they think of Lindt and Sprüngli, which is one of the most well-known chocolates worldwide, but also one of the most damn expensive ones, and personally not my favorite. I guess a lot of people love Lindt and Sprüngli because of their very special truffle, but I actually like a different brand called Caillé, and in fact, Caillé was the first ever Swiss chocolate maker in Switzerland. Like ever. In 1819, the first Swiss chocolate factory opened up, and it was called Caillé. Currently, Caillé is only available in Switzerland, but if you come in, do try and taste it because it's really, really good. It's high quality, it's cheap, and it's one of the most well-known brands of chocolate in Switzerland. There are a couple others, but I'm only just focusing on Caillé because that's life. Caillé is love, Caillé is life. Okay, the next thing on this list, I skipped a couple, is skiing. Now, it is true, most people know how to ski. Of course, it's a stereotype to say everyone knows how to ski, but everyone is taught how to ski at a very young age in Switzerland. In fact, a lot of primary schools send children up to like a sort of chalet in order to teach them how to ski, and a lot of winter activities as well. I do know some people who don't know how to ski, although I would say they're not exactly Swiss. Also, of course, according to this article, not everyone learns how to ski. There's skiing and snowboarding, which is also a very common sport. But yes, most people in Switzerland have learned how to ski. Not everyone is perfect at skiing, though. Yeah, you have to take that. Not everyone can go down a black slope at 20 kilometers an hour or something crazy like that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is cheese. It's not on the list, by the way, so it's just something I wanted to talk about. Namely, I wanted to talk about Swiss cheese, which in Switzerland is not called that, it's called the Emmental cheese. In fact, I read online, Swiss cheese has been coined by Americans to call any type of whole cheese Swiss. Which is kind of weird, because Switzerland has plenty of cheese. In fact, my favorite cheese is not the whole Emmental cheese, or the Swiss cheese. It is actually a type of Gruyere, which is basically a very creamy cheese that you get down south. And the Emmental is not actually that high up my list because it's kind of bland. Yeah, but calling the Emmental cheese Swiss cheese is kind of weird because in a way you're generalizing the term Swiss cheese to mean that every single cheese in Switzerland has holes in it. And also you're saying that Swiss people are the only people who make whole cheese when in fact there's thousands of whole cheese out there in the world. It just happens that Switzerland is the country that represents whole cheese. Okay, and just to top it off before I end this video, not all Chinese eat weird stuff, like dogs and cats. And in fact, dogs and cats are real pets in China. It just happens that a very small fraction of Chinese people eat cats and dogs. And then it just generalizes that the entire country is pet-ivorous. Bad joke here. And I just wanted to make this video to show that you can easily make mistakes about a country's culture and identity. And it's really easy to assume that a country has a following trait when in fact it's not true. But anyways, that is basically all I want to talk about. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you watch another one of my videos. And I shall say to you, goodbye.